Since we're on the topic of feminism, I have one more thing I want to say, and I'm not saying this to make women feel bad or stick it in their face. And I mean, I could keep saying a bunch of other things, but I don't want to get involved in all the pettiness and triggering people and stuff. So I'm gonna stick to this. There was a study done in 2008 called The Paradox of Declining Female Happiness. Now, it does not make feminism look good. And it's a study, okay? It's not my opinion. I'm not saying that feminism had nothing good about it. I'm definitely not saying that. But if we're gonna look at this study seriously, we're gonna have to reframe things, change things. So it looked at data from the 1970s, I think all the way up to now, recent times, and in the 1970s. In the 1970s, women were housewives, women weren't working nearly as much, and now like women are working a lot and making lots and lots of money. There's movies and TVs that's all about them all the time. Girl boss this and boss babe this, and it's like everything is geared toward not just feminism, but women being bosses, and meaning basically being in the workforce. And we could get into why that is, but I'm not going to get into that right now. My main point here is this. The study found that there was a paradox. As women's empowerment increased as feminism increased, as women's careers got better and they made more money, and they got out of being housewives and doing chores, women were and are less happy. They're less happy than men now, while in the 1970s, women were more happy than men. In the 1970s, when the men were all doing all the work outside the house and the women were doing all the work in the house, the women were more happy. That's it. That's the bottom line. I don't have to talk about my opinion. That was just what the study found. And it's not a surprise. Like I always say, evolution always wins. Nature always wins. So if women aren't happier doing all these quote unquote feminist movement things at this point, when it's succeeded, it's completely succeeded, then what's the point? We have to change, and women have to change because they're not happy. Not because I say you need to change, it's because women aren't happier. And society is kind of lying to us because look at all the TV and movies and articles and you're so cool, blah, 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 and it's pumping women up, but actually, in actual life, they're less happy. So what's going on here? And it's obvious, like, the thing that feminism did that at this point I recognize was off is that feminism, from the way I see it, is they didn't really empower the feminine energy. They just made women become men. And that's not going to work. Women are different from men. No matter what you think is right, women are different from men. That's like saying a bear is the same as a tiger. Like, they're completely different creatures. They've evolved differently. They have completely different strategies. On an unconscious level, we are different. On a biochemical level, we are different, and you can't get away from that. I mean, if you're going to say you're a woman in a man's body, okay, fine. But the majority of you, like I said in that other video, the majority of you are women, physically and mentally. You have the body to prove it. Because, I mean, unless you have an imbalance, which means maybe you got to do something about it. And that's true for men too. Men are very low in testosterone now, and it's a huge problem. But that's another topic. So just because everyone's some way doesn't mean that it's right or it's healthy. You know? So, I mean, look around you. In America, there's women aren't happy. Like, they're, because society's pumping them up, they're like, oh yeah. But that just makes me more skeptical. Like, why does society have to pump that up so hard when in actuality, according to the study and by the smell test, if you just look around, you see all these families where women are resenting their man because she's kind of doing the man thing. She's wearing the pants and she's secretly not happy. And she's definitely not happy if her man's not being masculine and doing what he's supposed to do. And something's wrong. Either we've been tricked to just mess everything up, or we had good intentions from the beginning, but it just didn't work out, and we're going to have to rethink and redo the framework of feminism and what women's roles are and how women are going to be. They're not happy. So who cares? Like, I mean, great things have happened for women because of feminism, but if feminism really cares about women, well, women's happiness is more important than the fact that women are cooler now or women make a lot of money. If you're making a lot of money and that's making you not happy, well, what's the freaking point? It just seems like it's kind of like a scam, like a trick. Sorry to have to bring this stuff up, but for the women that are open to this and not going to get triggered, like, why can't we talk about this stuff? See, that's another reason that it makes me feel like there's something to hide. Like, how come I can't bring this up? So anyways, if you're a woman that's open to this, well, think about it for yourself and live accordingly and not according to what society tells you to be. If you don't want to be a girl boss, then don't. Or if you're a girl boss now and you're not into it, then don't. There's women on TikTok talking about it. They're even saying that I feel like this is a scam. I was listening to Beyonce, to be Destiny's Child, being an independent woman, and watching the TV shows and women that are superheroes and girl bosses and all that. But they're like, well, in practicality, I'm not happy. So that's all good for TV, but I'm not going to do it. So don't do it. Peace.